Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shimo, Birum yom yom Yeshuato, Shiru l'Adonai, Shiru shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shimo, Basru miyom niyom Yeshuato, Lichu nirandina, Lichu nirandina, Lichu nirandina l'Adonai, Lichu nirandina, Lichu nirandina, Lichu nirandina l'Adonai.
Earlier tonight, when I first met him, Jeff told me that as of at least a few months ago, I was still listed somehow on the website of the St. Thomas Synagogue. So I will say to you as we turn to page 135 and prepare to sing Romamu, the words mean exalt Adonai our God and bow toward God's holy hill. Anybody who has been to the synagogue in St. Thomas might think that that is God's holy hill, climbing up that long, steep street to get to the synagogue there. In fact, of course, this is a reference to Yerushalayim, to Mount Zion, to the location of the ancient temple, which I will also refer to in my remarks later tonight. The last paragraph in Hebrew, page 135, Romamu Adonai Eloheinu. Mu Adonai Eloheinu
v'ishtachavu lihar kodsho. Amen. Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lihar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Oops.
Page 138, L'chadodi, stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9.
L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. Shamor v'zachor b'diborecha, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. L'chadodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. Likrat Shabbat l'chuvnilcha, ki hi mikol habracha, mirosh mikedem nesucha, sof maase b'machshava tichila. L'chadodi likrat kalam, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. L'chadodi likrat kalam, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. Hit'oreri, ki va'orech kum yori, uri, shidaberi, kivod Adonai alayich nigla. L'chadodi likrat kalam, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. L'chadodi likrat kalam, p'nei Shabbat l'kabila. Boi v'shalom alteret bala, gam b'simcha uv'zola, tochemuni yam segula, boi chala. L'chadodi
Page 143, the last paragraph on the bottom, together. Waking from his sleep, Jacob said, "Truly Adonai is in this place, and I did not know it." He was awestruck and said, "How awe-inspiring is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate
of heaven."
We continue with Chatzi Kaddish, page 144, followed immediately by Baruch Hu on 146. As we continue, please rise.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב במרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעול מעולמיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדל ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושו בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ויעלמם וימרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
We remain standing but face each other. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומעביר יום ומבין לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים.
Amen. 150 together. Everlasting love.
You offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts.
Therefore,
Adonai our God,
when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anoki ניצבך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בעם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וכשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטפטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיהם והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אלוהיכם אמת. Page 159, then back to 158 for Michamocha. Together, sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Ze Eli anu v'yamru Adonai lo leolam va'en Yapapa bim 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 bam Yapapa bim bam Yapapa bim 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 bam Yapapa bim bam Ay 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 Yapapa bim bam Adonai lo leolam va'en.
Page 160.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing, and I pray you will be soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that they don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidinu Shomreinu V'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom V'hamidinu Shomreinu V'chaim.
Page 163, and then back to 162 for Vashamru. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael
השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
The Amidah, the Tefillah, beginning on page 164. Please rise.
Tiftach ufi yagid tihilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Avotinu v'Iboteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Gibor v'hanora El Elyon Gomel chasadim tovim V'konei hakol V'zocher chasdei avod v'imot U'mevi geula livnei bneihem L'man shemo v'yahavam Melech ozer Moshiach u'magen Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Michael HaKol Bori Mechakel Chaim b'Chesed Mechaye HaKol b'Racham Oflim Almighty Rasul Kayeh Li Shnei Afar Bichamocha Gevurot Umidome Melech Memit Umatzmiach Yeshu Barata l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayi hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha B'chol yom yihalelucha Atah Adonai il
172, from the second paragraph toward the bottom. We continue in a moment. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest, and remember that we are adding in on page 174. This is Rosh Chodesh, so after we continue with personal prayer, I will be adding the paragraph in the middle of page 174. But we continue on page 172.
קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך סבינו מטובך ושמחנו בשועתך יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא 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 לה 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 v'tahir v'tahir libenu v'tahir v'tahir libenu v'tahir v'tahir libenu v'tahir be'emet v'tahir v'tahir libenu v'tahir v'tahir libenu v'tahir v'tahir libenu li'avdecha be'emet.
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 174. Let's do the opening paragraph in English. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your spirit. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, ya'aleh v'yavo v'yizachir zichronenu, v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha letova, lechen u'lechesed u'lrachamim, l'chaim u'l'shalom b'yom rosh hachodesh hazeh. Zachrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova, v'hoshi ufoktenu vo livracha, v'hoshienu vo l'chaim. We continue in personal prayer. Page 178.
Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha
Tasim leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam.
Ki atom melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Ra'av al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Ra'av al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. V'yecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol ובכל שם בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
the bottom of page 180.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvot tevel, v'imru, amen. Yalalalai, 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 ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvot tevel, v'imru, amen. Yalalalai, 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 yalalalai.
Page 371. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah v'yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim ha'ela. O God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, send your blessing and your healing, your comfort and your hope to all those we are about to name, to all those who are ill and in need of healing, to all those who are isolated and alone and in need of connection and hope. We mention at this time Mona Ellis, Jamie Raskin, Alan Rosenfield, Bill Demko, other names in the prayer for healing. And for those on Facebook, if you put names of loved ones in the prayer for healing at this time, we will see those names when we review the comments later. Baruch Ata Adonai, Rofei Cholim, we praise you, O God, who helps us heal, who brings us comfort. My friends, bear with me for a few moments for an unusual few twists and turns. Shalom, dear congregants. Today, as we delve into Parshat Tazria Mitzorah, we are confronted with some on the laws of ritual purity and impurity. At first glance, these ancient laws may seem distant from our modern lives, but as Reformed Jews, we strive to find relevance in our sacred texts, even in the most unexpected places, like finding meaning in baseball, Star Trek, or even Atlantic County, New Jersey. So let's start with baseball, a quintessentially American sport. Parshat Tazria Mitzorah may seem like the infield fly rule, a seemingly obscure rule that leaves us scratching our heads. Just like the infield fly rule, the laws of ritual purity and impurity in this Torah portion may seem complicated and hard to understand at first glance, but just like baseball, which requires patience, practice, and an understanding of the rules, our Torah portion also demands our attention and interpretation to uncover its deeper lessons. In Star Trek, a popular science fiction series, the crew of the Starship Enterprise constantly encounters new planets and species that challenge their assumptions and broaden their horizons. Similarly, Parshat Tazria Mitzorah challenges us to confront our assumptions about purity and impurity. It teaches us that purity is not solely about physical cleanliness, but also about spiritual and ethical purity. It reminds us that everyone, regardless of their status or appearance, deserves dignity and respect, just as Captain Picard seeks to uphold the values of the Federation in Star Trek. We must strive to uphold the values of our Jewish faith by treating others with kindness, compassion, and inclusivity. Now let's talk about Atlantic County, New Jersey. Just like this county, which is known for its diverse population, you know something's up. You're not reacting the way you usually do. You know something's up. I'm impressed. Maybe I'm delivering it differently. We'll see in a second. Just like this county, which is known for its diverse population and vibrant communities, I can't go on. Hang on. Now, I'm still fairly new here. We don't know each other that well yet. But I hope we are familiar enough with each other that there was something which sounded slightly off about those last few paragraphs. I will confess that I did not write them. Anyone want to guess where they came from? I heard somebody say it already. Yeah. This past week, our oldest son, Benjamin, stopped in for an overnight visit. Chatting with each other around midnight, the topic of AI, artificial intelligence, came up. So he pulled out his laptop and asked me what the Torah portion was for this coming week. I told him, and he tapped on his, see, you could have done this for your Dvar Torah, right? And he tapped in his keyboard, Tazria Mitzorah, Reform Rabbi, Baseball, Star Trek, and Atlantic County. And yes, Chat GPT did the rest. Instantly. Flash forward with me, if you will, just a few years, maybe just a few months into the future. Let's imagine the tech gets better, enough so that you couldn't really tell that this was not written by a real human being. Questions come fast and furious. What is authentic and what is artificial? What counts? What is genuine? What is real? And how can we tell? Look, I already have to do this with many of you. I just want to say this publicly, but I'll probably have to say it again. When I'm calling you, you're not taking my calls, some of you, because you see my area code on my cell phone. It's 301. It's my cell phone from Maryland. We kept it with us the whole time. As I said to Gail earlier today, it's a rabbi call, not a robocall. Please answer my call, right? What is real and how can we tell? There's an old saying, sincerity is everything in certain fields. Once you can fake that, you've got it made. Or as I say to our bar and bat mitzvah students, when I speak with you during a service, or when your parents are talking to you, Our job is to be interesting. Your job is to look interested. You have to succeed even if we do not. So on the topic of B'nai Mitzvah, Shiley, a few years back, maybe 30 years ago now, I came across an early thought experiment on these subjects. It was an animated film about a boy who just didn't want to have a bar mitzvah. Did you see this? Do you remember it? He didn't want to do the work, but he was creative and technologically precocious. Realizing he couldn't just get out of the whole thing, instead, he built a robot, dressed it up to look just like him, and programmed it to do everything which was needed for the service. It all went off without a hitch. It went perfectly. And the boy did not understand why he felt let down and disappointed after the experience. Did he have a bar mitzvah or not? Shiley, the whole point of what you're doing tomorrow is not how well you perform, although we do want and expect you to do well. It's not about perfection. And it's not a play or a performance, although it has aspects which are performative. It's about you. It's about us. It's about how standing up and taking your place as a leader of a community is something honest and genuine and real. This portion, as it happens, is a hard one. But the rituals of purity and impurity, all the actions of the priests described here, remind me of a larger point on the same theme of being real and being able to tell, of searching and of certainty. You've heard me say, even in my short time here, that the difference between the people of the Bible and us is this. They came close to God by killing sheep. We come close to God by reading about them killing sheep. So their vehicle, their venue, was a barbecue, and ours is a book. Rabbi David Hartman of blessed memory states the difference differently. He says that the people of the Bible, living with a functioning cultic structure, an active priesthood, and a standing sanctuary, had a sense of the immediate presence of God and easy access to what they considered to be reliable answers. Do something wrong? Find forgiveness with an offering. Should we go to war? Consult the mysterious, anybody remember what they're called? The high priest kept them in the Umim and Tumim. Yes, thank you, Bennett. The Umim and Tumim. It's like, casting the die or lots or something in Babylonia, by the way. In ancient Babylonia, this was done. Anybody know how they determined the fate and the future? What? Omens, sheep liver omens. So when I was in grad school in biblical studies before I started rabbinical school, I took Akkadian. And I was really interested in, and I wanted to read the Gilgamesh epic and and Enuma Elish and all these great sagas. But I had to spend months on if the splotch on the liver is dark, the enemy will invade. This is how they knew for sure what would happen. And with this portion, not sure if you're sick or what to do, go to a priest and get an answer, and they will give you direction. With the destruction of the temple, however, the cult was still, the ritual was unavailable, the sense that God was with us receded, and easy answers became a thing of the past. The difference in the worldview between those who had lived at the time of the Bible and the rabbis who wrote the Talmud and set the stage and laid the groundwork for all subsequent Jewish life, the difference between those, Rabbi Hartman said, is the difference between having access to a sense of certainty and living with uncertainty. What our ancestors sought with all these rituals were answers. What we live with instead are questions. Many of you saw on my Facebook page a few weeks ago I got more reaction to this than I think anything I've posted in the last few months. There was at our chocolate Seder, there was a little girl, she was like, I think 5 years old, and she wore a t-shirt, which I just love, and we loved it so much we ordered it for our adult daughter. The t-shirt said, anybody remember what I posted? I have more than 4 questions. That was the t-shirt. I loved it. It was great. Which brings us back to today, and altered videos, manipulation of images, and ChatGPT. Maybe not being able to tell is just the reality of our lives. Maybe the questions and the doubts are the point. Being real is about more than facts. Being yourself is not about an external proof, but an internal one. Presence is about the present, the here and now, about looking each other in the eyes and having the hope, being able to trust that we are there for each other, that we're real with each other, that you are you and I am me. And God is found, perhaps, as Martin Buber taught, in the place between, in the meeting of minds and the opening of hearts and the cleansing, purifying power of love we share with one another. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Linda Karp, President of Beth Israel. I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening and those that are watching from home. I especially want to welcome Cantor Anna Berman and her husband Jeff. Where is Jeff? Way back there in the corner. Yes. But thank you. It is our pleasure to share Shabbat with you, and we welcome you and hope to see you again since you're only down in Wildwood? Courthouse, Cape May Courthouse. Okay. Please join us following services for Kiddush in the Weiss lobby at the conclusion of services. Shabbat morning study meets tomorrow morning at 9:15 in the Cohen Library and will be streamed on Zoom. Shabbat morning services will begin at 10:30, and we will celebrate the bat mitzvah of Shaylee Kaplan, daughter of Joel and Ornit Kaplan, and we wish you a mazel tov and welcome all of your family and your friends that are here. Thank you. And Yom Ha'azmaut will be observed on Tuesday, April the 25th at 7 p.m. here. There will be a short community-wide service followed by a dessert reception and wine tasting, and this is hosted by the Israel 75 Committee. So again, that is here at Beth Israel, and we hope to see you and many others here that evening. Mark your calendars for a special day at Beth Israel with Israeli Rabbi Or Zahar on Friday, April the 28th. There will be an Israel-style luncheon at 12:30 here, and you will hear about what is going on in Israel. The cost for the lunch is $10. Please make a reservation by calling the office. And then there will be services on Friday evening at 5:30, where there will be an amazing musical Erev Shabbat service and concert. I believe that is next Friday. It is next Friday. There is also a community-wide celebration for Yom Ha'azmaut on Sunday, April the 30th at 4 p.m. at the JCC in Margate, and that is also hosted by the Israel 75 Committee. And to let you know that we will be having our thrift sale. The drop-off days are Sunday, April 30th at 9 a.m., or that's not the sale day, no. That's the drop-off day. The sale is Sunday and Monday, May 7th and 8th from 9:30 to noon. We do need helpers and people to bake, and bring your items in because Beth Israel raises a lot of money with that. And with that, I say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Linda, and thank you. Just a quick note before we continue on page 570 with the Omer blessing, that Rabbi Or Zohar is a colleague and friend of mine. He and his wife came to St. Thomas last year after I had met him in Poland while visiting Ukrainian refugees. And we have, I think, 20 people signed up for the lunch so far, next Friday at 12:30. I was hoping for 40, so if you have not signed up, please come. Any cantors or rabbis who are able to make it, I'll pay for their lunches. But please RSVP, and this should be quite an interesting lunch, and the service next Friday night, which will be in the sanctuary, should be really amazing. He's a terrific musician. You can look him up if you want, or O-R, and then his last name is Zohar, Z-O-H-A-R. Google him. You might be able to listen to some of his music and see some of what the wonderful work that he is doing in Israel. Please join us next week, and please make me look good. Please be here with us next Friday at 12:30 and Friday at 5:30 p.m. We ask the Kaplan family to come forward as a group, all four of you. I don't see Oriella, all three of you, and to help with the Ark doors. We continue with the Omer blessing on page 570. This is the 16th day? 16th day. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshel b'mitzvotav v'tzivnanu al sfirat haomer hayom shtei shvat v'shtei yamim
Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Today is the 16th day, which is 2 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Page 586 on the bottom.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol
Lated Gedula Bereshit Shelo Asanu Kugoye Aratzot Velo Samanu Kemishpachot Ha'adama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Va'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umotim Melech Malchei Hamlachim Baruch Hu. Page 588 as we close the Ark doors. Shehu Noteh Shamayim Yosed Haaretz Umoshav Yikaro Basham Imam Ushchinatu So Begov He Meromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Efesulatom Hakatuv B'Toratom V'yadat Hayom V'Hashevota
Elivavecha Ki Adonai hu Elohim
Bashamayim Ve'aretz Tachat page 591. V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo There are stars whose radiance is visible on this earth, though they have long since ceased to exist. There are people whose light and whose warmth continue to shine for us, though they are no longer among us. These stars which shine in the dark of the night, they light the way for humankind. As is the custom of our congregation, should you choose to do so, should you feel comfortable doing so, we ask that you rise as we call the name of a loved one so that we may know that you are here in mourning and memory, and then we will, as is the custom in most Reformed synagogues, stand as a congregation as a whole for the Kaddish prayer, the mourner's Kaddish prayer itself. We remember Tevel Amsterdam, Samuel Backer, Edward Baker, Marjorie Bechtel, Mary Berger, Josephine Bernhardt, Lenore Bernstein, Aaron Blumstein, Richard Charney, Dr. Herman Kassoy, Rose Deutsch, Saul Feldman, Sarah Feinberg, Bertha Friedman, Pearl Goldberg, Tilly Goldman, Morris Gordon, Steffi Gordon, Adele Gross, Sylvia Hart, Elise Kotzen, Jenny Mendelson, Paul Nassau, Leonard Nelson, Beverly Popowich, Marion Reinheimer, Jacob Robinson, Benjamin Rosenblatt, Ella Rosenfield, Katie Rosewater, Louis Schussman, Meyer Waldman, Ida Zellick. During this period of Shloshim, Leah Lowenstein, Joyce Anderson, J.B. Connor, Elizabeth Tannenbaum, Edith Nelson, Robert Tunick. Is there anyone else here to say Kaddish for someone whose name I did not mention, or any of the names I may have mispronounced? The memories of all of our loved ones are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn now to Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, page 598, and we rise as a congregation. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chaye chon u'vyom echon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, B'agava u'v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah ach le'olam olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu, Ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yisrael tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn among us and wherever they may be, all those who are suffering the pain of loss everywhere, and together let us say, Shalom b'imam, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Please join us following Adon Olam in the Weiss lobby for candles, kiddush, and motzi, led by members of the Kaplan family. We conclude our time in the chapel together with Adon Olam. Is that right? Yes. Whichever setting Cantor Berman has selected, page 625. Yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chef sokol Azai melech shemo nikra V'acharei kichlot hakol levado Yimloch noram Vehu haya Vehu hovem Vehu yeh betifara Yehu echad ve'en sheni Laham shilo Lahachbira Beli reshit Beli tachlit Velo ha'oz v'ha'misra Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 V'chai go'ali v'tzur chevli be'et sarah Vehu nisi humanos li menat kosi biyom ekra biyado afkid ruchi be'et ishan ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviyati Adonai li velo ira Yai da 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 Yai da 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 Yai da 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 Yai da 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 Yai da 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 Shabbat shalom. And please join us